The Apostolic Palace. For centuries, its ancient stones have guarded secrets whispered only in the most hallowed chambers. Within its labyrinthine corridors, the fate of souls and the course of history have been debated, decided, and sealed away from the prying eyes of the world. But on this day, May 22nd, 2025, the impenetrable walls seemed to tremble. An invisible fissure had appeared, not in the marble or the frescoes, but in the sacred veil of secrecy itself. A document intensely personal and profoundly significant materialized on the screens of news outlets worldwide. The swiftness of its dissemination was a chilling testament to the interconnected world. The Church, an institution that thinks in centuries, was thrust into the harsh, unforgiving light of instantaneous global scrutiny. This was no ordinary communiqué. This was a letter, a private correspondence, penned by the newly inaugurated Pope Leo XIV himself, addressed to Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. The implications were staggering. The world reeled. Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Prevost in Chicago, had ascended to the chair of St. Peter only days before, on May 18, 2025. His election, following a remarkably swift 24-hour conclave, was seen by many as a divine signal for stability and unity. He was the first American pope, an Augustinian missionary with decades of service in Peru. Hopes were high. He spoke of a church founded on God's love, a force for peace against hatred and exploitation. His persona was one of solemnity and profound discipline. He was known for a traditional style, a trait that pleased conservative Catholics, yet this traditionalism was coupled with a fervent missionary heart. The new pontiff's early days were marked by gestures of outreach and a clear articulation of his core beliefs. Yet this leaked letter, emerging so shockingly early in his reign, threatened to paint a different picture. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Archbishop of Manila Emeritus, stood as the intended recipient of the Pope's leaked words. Known for his deeply pastoral heart, his infectious smile, and his powerful oratory, Tagle resonated with millions. His charisma was undeniable, drawing vast crowds and inspiring a generation of younger Catholics. However, this very inspiration made him a controversial figure in some quarters. His emphasis on mercy and pastoral flexibility often raised concerns among more traditionalist elements within the Church. The nature of his relationship with Pope Leo XIV was, until the leak, a subject of quiet speculation. The leaked letter thrust this relationship into the harsh spotlight. The first fragments of the letter appeared like digital apparitions on encrypted forums, then cascaded onto mainstream news sites with terrifying speed. Disbelief was the initial reaction. Surely this could not be authentic, but as more seasoned Vatican correspondents began to receive corroborating whispers, a chilling realization dawned. This was real. The Pope's private words, raw and unfiltered, were laid bare for all to see. One of the first passages to ignite global consternation spoke of a profound spiritual disquiet. "My beloved brother Luis," the Pope purportedly wrote, "the bark of Peter sails not merely through external tempests, but through a storm of our own making." Another excerpt hinted at agonizing choices and hidden dangers. The anguish in these lines was palpable. The genesis of chaos, how the sacred seal was broken. The question burned across continents. Who dared to commit such a profound betrayal? Speculation erupted, a wildfire of theories. Was it a disgruntled cleric, a disillusioned Vatican employee with access to the papal apartments? Or perhaps a more sophisticated operation, a state-sponsored cyber attack? The Vatican's initial response was a deafening silence. Then came a terse, almost pained acknowledgement. Yes, a private letter appeared to have been illicitly obtained. An investigation was immediately launched by the Gendarmerie Corps of Vatican City State. The hunt for the source began with grim determination. A world divided reactions from the Western Bastions. In the historic heartlands of Catholicism in Europe and North America, the news of the leaked letter landed like a thunderbolt. Traditional Catholic communities reacted with a mixture of shock, dismay, and profound sadness. Progressive voices within the Western Church interpreted the letter's contents through a different lens. The secular media dived into the story with fervor, dissecting every leaked phrase. For the faithful in the pews across the West, the dominant emotions were often confusion and a sense of unease. Echoes in the global South, hope and trepidation. The impact of the leaked letter resonated with particular intensity across the vibrant and rapidly growing Catholic communities of the global South. In Asia, especially the Philippines, the news was received with a unique blend of personal concern and profound spiritual reflection. In Africa and Latin America, the letter sparked fervent prayer and intense discussion. Many in the global South saw the revealed dialogue between the Pope and Cardinal Tagle not as a crisis, but as a necessary, albeit painful, conversation. However, trepidation also mingled with this hope. The prophetic resonance, unraveling the letter's deeper portents. As the initial shockwaves of the leak began to subside, theologians, historians, and spiritual thinkers around the globe turned their attention to the deeper, perhaps prophetic resonance of Pope Leo XIV's words. Beyond the immediate crisis of a security breach, many sensed a profound spiritual undercurrent in the letter's anguished prose. The Pope's language, imbued with biblical allusions and a sense of historical weight, seemed to transcend the immediate context. Commentators noted the Pope's Augustinian background, speculating that his words might echo St. Augustine's City of God. The more mystically inclined wondered if the Pope was burdened by a vision, a private revelation, or a profound insight into the spiritual battles of the age. Ultimately, the letter's deeper portents remained shrouded in ambiguity. A crossroads of faith, the Church in the eye of the storm. The immediate future, in the wake of this unprecedented leak, is veiled in profound uncertainty. The Vatican machinery now faces a crisis of transparency and trust. Will Pope Leo XIV address the world directly, offering context or comfort? Will Cardinal Tagle break his silence? The global Catholic community, nearly 1.4 billion strong, holds its breath, awaiting guidance. What is undeniable is that Pope Leo XIV's letter now compels a global examination of conscience for the entire Church. The spiritual tensions are no longer whispers in Roman corridors, they are laid bare for all to contemplate. Yet within every crisis lies the seed of opportunity, a chance for profound healing and renewal. The unity Pope Leo XIV so fervently called for at his inauguration is now being tested by fire. The world watches, many pray, and all await the dawn that must surely follow this dark and unsettling night. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.